Digital distribution of files is a solved problem. The tech stack for it is mature. Both the hardware, the infrastructure, the software, etc. It's all solved and mature. Efficient solutions are implemented and available. It's not 2006. We are in current year, and Valve has been scaling this as years go by. Even with increases in game file sizes to hundreds of gigabytes, the storage and speeds of server racks increased as well. The tech has advanced so much that people are questioning the Valve 30% tax. Epic has made its own digital distribution platform, the Epic Game Store. Even Sony and Microsoft and smaller corporations all have or made attempts at digital distribution. Many younger PC gamers that are Steam-first users never touched a physical disc. Of course, they are entirely dependent on Steam and Valve, and everything they think they own is just licenses and a virtual game library on someone else's computer. True ownership on PC comes from DRM-free stores like GOG or Abandonware, or from the cracked games on scene sites. Ironically, Denuvo and other digital rights management only ever messes with paying customers. Players that download cracked DRM-free game files have total ownership to burn the files to a disk or copy files to a USB stick or a NAS or HDD, free as in freedom. The difference with Sony and Xbox is that there is no competition or other ways to get games. You will own nothing, and you will be happy.
Alright, Rockstar announced GTA 6 will be getting an extended look, with first dibs exclusive to Netflix. And Strauss couldn't be happier. This is a first of its kind event, and only possible because Rockstar simply hasn't missed literal decades of growing this brand with quality games. I don't think anyone else in the industry has this kind of track record when it comes to major releases.
This is true about Rockstar, but the only remark is that, just like Bethesda with Elder Scrolls, the last Rockstar GTA game was made and released back in 2013. It's been 13 years of selling the same GTA 5 and GTA Online across new platforms, with Enhanced Edition, that just added ray tracing and upscaling and better textures. Rockstar wasn't bought out by Microsoft, but there are hints of change, with Sam Houser gone and in some feminist slop that's in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Now I gotta say, this Netflix deal is kind of a masterclass in marketing. Pretty much all gamers know about GTA 6. Netflix holds the key to the truly casual gamer though. The kind of guy who has a PS4, but you know, since GTA 5 he's graduated college, had a kid, got a job, and just doesn't have the time for this shit anymore. Sure, he's heard about GTA 6, but he isn't about to look up gameplay footage on YouTube. But if it were plastered all over the front page of Netflix after work, he just might give it a look. It's only a 6-hour exclusive deal, then it will be uploaded to Rockstar's YouTube anyway. And in my opinion, Netflix likely paid Rockstar for an ad. Now it's definitely more than that. Netflix of course wants to be connected to the biggest launch in entertainment history. They already have some game streaming service Rockstar is involved in, and it just makes sense. When you're a company like Netflix, normal advertising doesn't work. Babies are born with Netflix subscriptions on auto-renew. They have to do big things in order to get everyone talking about them, and this certainly has everyone talking. The truth is, this is a masterclass in marketing from Rockstar and Netflix.
The thing is that Rockstar and GTA is the only thing you can advertise like this. No other publisher and developer can get away with just doing minimal marketing and letting millions of people online speculate, make rumors, make AI slop videos, etc., to allow the hype to not die down and for the GTA 6 to remain in media cycle for years.
It's not about subscriptions, it's about the headline. I did a poll trying to see if people would subscribe to Netflix in order to watch this, and well, something to keep in mind is people treated see results as I don't give a fuck about GTA 6. Very funny. But you can see that as far as my viewers go, no one is subscribing to Netflix for this.
Drawn out viewers are not representative of the target demographic. Millions are extending subs and will subscribe just because they got the jolt that something exclusive is happening for paying consumers that the ordinary plebs will have to wait for, the timed exclusivity to run out.
Which again, isn't really their goal, I don't think. This is likely going to be a gameplay reveal, as I don't see what else it could be at this point. We are basically 3 months away from launch and still don't know what the actual game looks like. It requires a Netflix subscription to watch live, creating that good old FOMO. And while I don't think a ton of people will do this, some for sure will just to experience the moment. Now, 100% of them will lie and say they were already subscribed, but people are going to do this. I will be doing the smart thing and just using my brother's account. Many people do see this as a paywalled advertisement, and it is for 6 hours, but this doesn't really bother me. I think we have many more industry problems to worry about, which I will get to in a moment. That I can't find the energy to care here. Something I am predicting right now, though, is that this partnership will lead to some sort of making of GTA 6 or similar kind of Netflix documentary. Of course, post-release. And taking a quick look at the comments, we do have the physical media crowd here.
Even though I agree, physical media should exist. At the end of the realist reductionism rabbit hole, to play the game, you need the files and the computer to run the executable. How you get to copy files is important, but secondary.
I mean, 3 to 5K likes per post is something. And I also like this Trojan horse one. But people really do care about the physical media. It has had some pretty wild staying power, surviving weeks of news cycles. And I did a poll that had some interesting results. I said, will Sony eliminating physical media hurt PlayStation next generation? And pretty overwhelmingly, the answer is yes, a lot. Is there any other problem Sony has caused for themselves that has pissed people off this bad? Is it possible that we're reaching Xbox One levels of foot shooting? Well, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick certainly had some interesting remarks about physical media that I want to talk about. He started by saying, our business is well over 90% digitally distributed. It's already a digital business. He's obviously referring to microtransactions in GTA Online. That is where Rockstar has made over 90% of their money, at least since GTA 5 launched. In the leaks that showed Rockstar's revenue, they make like $20 to $40 million per month with GTA Online. Take-Two also publishes the 2K sports games, which I'm sure are very heavily digitally bought. I should also mention the insane boost Red Dead 2 has gotten with all the GTA 6 hype. The left image is from my first video 7 months ago, and in that time, it has jumped up 8 million copies, overtaking Wii Sports. You know, the game that shouldn't even be there at all. Strauss goes on to say, so in certain instances, especially if it's a big game, discs just, and note I said discs, don't really make sense for the consumer. Okay, it may be true that GTA 6 is too big for one disc. Good thing we have a solution for that already. It's called data discs. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came on 2 discs. Baldur's Gate 3 came on 2 discs. And on Xbox One, it came with 4 fucking discs. Now, I get none of these are Rockstar, and maybe something about their game. Oh, wait, they did it for Red Dead 2. Okay, very cool. He continued with, also, most instances you have to register online to play anyhow. And I want to note that this is just an artificial limitation that they created and act like it's out of their control. No need to waste our time here. He says, so if you're already connected, who cares if you download digitally? It's all the same and it's much more convenient. Who cares? It's all the same, more convenient. These are those phrases meant to relax me, but they do nothing but grow my rage for these fucking companies. Let's start with who cares. As it turns out, a lot of fucking people, Strauss. Do I need to show you Sony's Twitter account? He says it's all the same. No, it's not. Here is the difference, Strauss. Physical games give consumers the option to buy it cheaper. I know you're doing your little code in a box scheme here, but I somehow just doubt those are going to be in high supply. They want to cut out Walmart and Amazon as much as possible, starting with the disc, and eventually you won't even find the box with the code in it. A digital purchase gives them the most money and it's split the least ways, something them and Sony salivate over. So Strauss actually continued, and I actually forget where I found this little snippet of article here. But he said, so that's where the world is going in our opinion, and I think Sony understands that. Can you two get a fucking room? It's disgusting. Something funny here too is that Sony posted an ad for GTA 6 saying it plays best on PS5, and they used a PS5 with a fucking disk drive. They then deleted that and posted a new one, and stripped it of its precious drive. Total clowns. Strauss continued by saying, we certainly understand that. It doesn't mean we won't have physical editions now and then. I'm sure we will, in the same way that there's still vinyl in the recorded music business. But in other instances, it just won't make sense.
The truth is that Blu-ray is obsolete. But unlike in 2006, when DVD was going obsolete and was replaced by Blu-ray, there is nothing to replace it. There is no Violet Ray disc that can have 500 gigabytes capacity. Storage that can be used to physically deliver modern games is NAND flash memory. but the cost of the USB stick or a memory card would have to be transferred to customers as well. Unlike pennies that a Blu-ray disc costs, 256 gigabytes of flash memory is substantial, and that would make games not $100, but like $150 or even $200. And there is the issue of copy protection. You cannot just erase a Blu-ray disc, but you can erase or mess up a flash drive.
Vinyl, Strauss? Really? Strauss, when I buy a vinyl record sleeve, what do I expect on the inside? A code telling me where to download my MP3s? No, I get a fucking record. When I buy GTA 6, I get a little piece of paper telling me to go fuck myself. Actually, here are some vinyl stats from the RIAA in 2025.
No one gives a shit for vinyl stats. Imagine Todd singing, "Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies." That hit single would sell millions.
$1 billion in US sales. They grew for the 19th straight year, and a total of 46.8 million units sold. 1 year. Does physical media really seem like a dying medium? Sure, compared to streaming music, it's a lot less, but it's still a huge market, and games are no fucking different. Which brings me to more convenient. And this is the worst one. Because for who is it more convenient, Strauss? Let's do a breakdown. Take-Two and other publishers on one side, us on the other. Pros and cons for both. So the pros for the publishers are, of course, higher margins by cutting out retailers, easier logistics but no filthy disc to print, secrecy from leaks, which is fine, I guess, control of the game down to the ability to just delete it from your account, which Sony has shown they are 100% willing to do with something you bought, no more used games to compete with, and no more lending games too. If you want to play it, you gotta buy it directly for them for full price. The cons for publishers are really simple. Both Sony and Strauss see no downsides here, and so we will take their word on it. There are some pros for consumers that we can't ignore. It is objectively easier to switch games in a digital library over a physical one. It's also harder to lose or have stolen those games in real life, of course. I mean, Sony can steal them whenever they want. But that's it, on to the cons. So there are no used games, no lending games. There's no control, which is broken into ownership and preservation. And the trust erosion is a big one for me, because we don't want to hate these companies we grew up with, but they hate us for some reason. And you know, isn't that weird? It's almost like the pros for the publishers translate into cons for consumers. Meanwhile, the pros for consumers barely exist. Do you think someone like this cares about losing a game or not getting up to Switch games? He fucking doesn't. Now, Strauss didn't say physical doesn't make sense. He very specifically said discs don't make sense. A box with a code still gives them shelf space at retail, giftability, and a feigned attempt at collector appeal, without giving away ownership benefits of an actual disc. It is too little too late for Sony, at least. They've already been repurposing their disc factory to sell optical micro lenses, which from what I can tell are used in data centers. So yes, your favorite reason your hobby is going to shit? AI nonsense. Because this is Sony's problem. PlayStation competes with AI for hardware, and AI is winning. To them, they need to make stuff AI companies need to buy. And by the way, what is Xbox doing to capitalize on this? It turns out not nothing, but not really something either. The Verge reported that Xbox is testing a disc-to-digital feature that digitizes a physical game collection. Now, interestingly, Tom posted this on July 1st, which is the same day Sony posted the big middle finger. So I assume he heard about this information before and was waiting to share it. And so Tom says, Microsoft will likely soon follow Sony and stop the production of physical discs for Xbox games. And this is just crazy if true to me. The disk drive adds like $30 to the cost, or at least historically it has. But it would give them that huge boost in PR that they're like so desperately looking for right now. It just seems so obvious to me, and it really makes me wonder what's going on. Tom continues with, but instead of leaving physical games behind entirely, sources familiar with Microsoft plans tell me the company has quietly been working on a disc-to-digital feature that will allow Xbox owners to digitize their existing physical game collections. Doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's visualize this. Say you own a Series X and you can take your physical copies of games and obtain a digital license for that game. Very cool, right? Okay, so now you're someone who skipped the Series X and you own a Helix. You know, the next-gen Xbox. But guess what? There's no disk drive. I feel like we're repeating a dark time in Xbox's history here. Are you saying that I need to buy a Series X to digitize and future-proof my games now? What if my Series X is broken or stolen or I skipped it?
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't, like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device. I mean, seriously.
There's a million reasons why someone might have Xbox Ones or even Series X games that a Helix wouldn't be able to do shit with. It's just one step forward, two steps back. This apparently isn't just a rumor or speculation, as references to disc-to-digital were apparently found in the Xbox PC app code, but the details on how it would work come from Tom. And you know, when I first heard about this, I assumed it would start with the newer Xbox Ones and Series X discs, get people to digitize their libraries on this generation, and then Helix would launch with a disk drive and allow you to digitize any old Xbox game you have a disc for. Wouldn't that be great and possibly win them the next generation? I think so, but it doesn't seem like that's where we're going. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Normies don't care. If something is more convenient and more comfortable, they will take that instead of the less convenient option. Steam is decades ahead in this, and Sony and Microsoft are now following suit. Nintendo had the chance to make the best possible version of physical, but instead made the worst of both worlds, where you have all the drawbacks of physical, but also need to download things and get DRM licenses